Good morning, Cadre. We are back today. We are going to do another Bad Blade series video, trying to get through these as quickly as possible. Not necessarily quickly as possible, but I got a lot of blades to use. As somebody pointed out on the forums, Dag with Z, if you look at the total amount of blades, I'm right around 115 to 120-ish total blades. So every blade used at least twice, some 3 times. This is possibly going to be a year-long shave. Year-long event. I do have my daughter in here with me. I'm watching her by myself. My son stayed the night at my mom's house. He wanted to sleep over, and my wife went out grocery shopping and had to go do a weigh-in. So I've got my daughter. I already fed her breakfast, and I figured, hey, might as well get this shave in because I do have some basketball games later. Same software I'm using. Obviously, I'm doing that 3017 challenge. I've been using my Paladin brush today, and the blade is a unique one. I did a lot of research on this, and it is the Qball Platinum Plus. Now, they normally don't come with this label on them. This is strictly from Tri-Blade. It's the way they tell it out, probably because there are a few blades that use a similar wrapping paper, is my assumption. And actually, I have seen a wrapping paper similar to this, so I do know that to be the case. So let's open up this blade here. Let's see what we got. And as you can see, it says Super Platinum, and it has a patent number down there. And the patent number is 3071856. If you're familiar with blades, that patent number has shown up a few times. I wanted to do some research and figure out what that is about, so we'll talk about that once we begin the shave. So we're going to load this up and get ready. And I've got 3 sticky notes worth of notes attached to my mirror. And we got a lot to discuss today. So I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys. I'm going to build my lather, and we'll be back to begin the shave and talk about this blade. Alright, all lathered up, so let's real quickly, I want to show you guys this. As you can see, I broke through the bottom today. So, we're on the home stretch, so to speak. Alright, let's go ahead and begin this. So this is the Qball Platinum Plus. Real quickly, I'm going to have to start talking right away. This is a blade made by Persona in their Israel factory. Same plant, actually, as the Persona Israeli Red, as many refer to it as. It is made by the company Arena, and we will talk about that in a second. It is platinum coated, and the patent on it, which was patent number 3071856, is a patent from the 1940s, and it was by the man Irwin W. Fishbein. He has a lot of patents around razor blades, all ranging from the 1940s to the 1960s. If you've ever read patents, it's boring. Extremely boring. However, you can get some useful information out of them. This particular patent is actually around how a razor blade is coated, and it actually discusses how it increases the thickness. It was like from 0.0011 inch to 0.0015 inch, and that's the amount of coating that is with this process, that it increases the thickness of the blade. So it increases it by 0.004 or something to that effect. It's either 2 zeros or 1 0. I didn't write that down. But the point is that it recognizes the fact that it increases in the thickness, and it actually is patented because through their testing, they were able to confirm that it did increase longevity and that it also increased sharpness of the blade. So something to keep in mind. So if you ever see that patent around, you see it a few times. You actually see it on a lot of Persona packaging. And it's probably because the little information I can find about this guy is that he was a scientist and worked on these patents for the companies. Now, as most patents go, more people use this process. So, one piece that's actually fairly quite interesting if you think about it, all these blades, sorry, daughter coming in. Ignore the squeaking, I apologize. But anyways, a lot of this, if you think about it, the science behind the blades that we're using today was all the way back from the 1940s. Pretty cool. I mean, we already know, we're using razors from back in that time. We were getting excellent shapes from it. Now we're still using the exact same process that was used back then to continue to make the blades. Now, the steel might be being hardened in different ways or something to that effect that's making the blades better today than they were back then. But the process of coating the blades is the same today as it was back in the 1940s. That's pretty cool. So the first pass actually was very smooth. I got a really nice, close, comfortable shave. I'll already tell you it was much better than the Dorco blade. I will say that it was a tiny bit rough. I could feel the blade there, but I'm kind of thinking it's because it was sharper than the Dorcos, and I was falling into the habit of using a blade that wasn't as sharp. So I'm going to make some minor adjustments and see how the second pass goes. So I'm going to pause you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to talk about in regards to the patent. I thought it was cool. It was fascinating to me, so I wanted to at least share that information. So keep an eye out for that patent number, and if you search that patent number in patent.google.com, and then it will bring up linked patents to that patent as well as to the Irwin W. Fishbein. And you can see, I think he had like 6 or 8 patents, it was somewhere in that range, all related to razor blades. So honestly, I think if you were to go back and read through those patents, you're probably going to learn exactly how razor blades are made. We've seen videos on it, but to actually kind of read it and some of the science behind it, it was interesting to me at least. So anyways, let's talk about the pricing of this blade. First of all, it is not on Maggard's, Italian Barber, or West Coast Shaving. And I think the reason as to why is because a lot of people say that this blade is just like the Israeli Red. And the reason why is because of the plant it's made in, and it's similar. However, I will say that the wording is a little bit different on them. This one says Platinum Plus, and the other one says I can't remember. It's something a little bit different. They both have platinum on them, so it's possible they're the same. But I will say that the research that I read actually led me to believe that it's actually a slightly different steel, just made in the same plant, and that's probably because of the company it's being used for. This is a Swedish steel, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about price. It's very expensive. You can get it on Amazon. You get 120 blades for about $28, which equates to 23 cents a blade. Now this blade's sharp. I'm getting the closest shave I've had in the last 8 shaves, which is fantastic. But it is a tiny bit rough. It'll be interesting to see if it calms down in the next shave. So anyways, so Amazon, that's about 23 cents a blade. If you look, and if you pay attention, you can find it a little bit cheaper on another site. I found them for a 100 pack around $14, so about 14 cents a blade. And then on eBay from a trusted seller that I would purchase from, I found a 100 pack for $19, so roughly 20 cents a blade. So it can be found for cheaper. That's what I wanted to say. Good shave. It is sharper than the Dorcos, but maybe not as smooth. I think you're going to lose a tiny bit of smoothness on this blade. Going to keep it going, the camera. We're going to do a little bit of cleanup, and I need to talk about this company. So what I found out is that this company, Erina, E-R-I-N-A, is a Japanese company, and they produce skincare products predominantly for women. If you look on their website and if you do some of their translating, Google Translate and stuff like that, you can read, I read their mission statement, I read some information about some of their products, and they do have a shaving section. And what I was able to find out from I didn't find anything that completely stated this, but I feel comfortable making this assumption. I believe that this blade is made by Persona. It has the Qball name attached to it, and it's sold for this company. And it's marketed to women, and it's sold as a razor set, and basically what they're doing is it's for shaving. And if you go and if you like pay attention in YouTube and stuff like that, you're going to find some crazy things. In Japan, a lot of women actually shave their face, and so this blade's marketed as, it's a women's blade. Well, it's marketed to women in Japan. I mean, we all know that it doesn't really matter, right, in that regard, but I found that interesting. So is this a rebranded Israeli Red? I don't think so. Is it using some of the same processes? Most definitely. It's using the same process to apply the platinum coating as the Israeli Red, and of course it is a Swedish steel compared to the steel that Persona is using, which I believe is also a Swedish steel, but maybe they're different grades or something. But people that have used both and reading a lot of reviews, there's a common consensus that the blades are not the same. Now, they're using similar processes and similar scientific processes to get the blades coated, get the blades sharpened, stuff like that. And that's obvious, I mean, but there's clearly some differences there, if that makes sense. A lot of information on this blade. A very intriguing blade. And I must say, I'm finally BBS. I haven't been BBS in 8 days. Everywhere. And what I'm going to have to do is not let that cloud my judgment when I pass off the final rating on this blade. This blade really intrigued me the whole time. I'm sure you guys can kind of sense that excitement there. So much information was found out about this blade and the company that is marketing the blade, and the company that the blade is made for. I will say though, I don't know if this relationship is still going, because the Qball blades are harder and harder to find, but just maybe they don't push it as hard. I'm not 100% sure. It's, again, everything was in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese or read Japanese, so in Google Translate, while good, it isn't the most reliable. So I'm going to pause you guys, rinse, clean up, and then I'll come back for final thoughts and aftershave. I know this video is a little bit longer, so 1 second. Alright, so as we kind of wrap up and conclude, there's one last point that I wanted to make, and it's the one reason why I feel comfortable saying that these blades are different. We know that Persona makes a lot of blades for a lot of other companies. I mean, there are a lot of Persona blades out there. So I feel comfortable saying, you know, that this isn't the exact same as the Israeli Red. Now, it's very highly probable that Erina, the company, came to Persona and said, we want to emulate the Israeli Red blade. And I bet you that's probably what ended up happening. And that's why we're here. That's why the blade is so similar. So anyways, I'm going to use this. This is also running down, but I think the soap's going to be gone first. Apparently, I thought I always used a lot of aftershave, but I'm thinking apparently I use more soap than aftershave, but that's okay. Get this applied. Shave was really good. Finally got a BBS shave. Haven't had one in 8 shaves. The Qball delivered. It provided an excellent shave. A little bit more rough than I would like. It's definitely sharper. So we're going to see how the next shave goes, and then that will determine on its actual final rating. But this is a really good blade. So I have a feeling we're going to be in that other category. Is this good or is this 100 pack? Time will tell. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry for the longer video, but I felt like it was warranted. And again, if you haven't joined us at the Cadre, hit us up at theshavingcadre.com, and I'll see you guys on the pages. Have a good one.